Welcome back to Noise Avocation Podcast. I'm Ryan here with Jeremy.
What up?
And we have Gavin here from Ikaika. Did I say that right?
You got it. Nailed it.
Cool. How you doing, man? We appreciate you taking the time to jump on.
Yeah, of course, man. No, I'm good. Just dropped the daughter off to school. Beautiful morning here on the west side of Maui. It's slightly rainy. And about to talk story, as we say, with some new homies from Michigan.
Cool.
Life's good.
You were just up in Michigan. I talked to you like last week. You said you were up here for, what were you up here for?
So my mom is from Gun Lake, but we have a generational family cabin up in like way northern Ontario on her side. So
Awesome.
We went back for a trip. Like we haven't been back there. Like I haven't been back since I was maybe like 15. I'm 40 now, so been a long time. So little family reunion of sorts. But yeah, we flew into Michigan, see her family for a little bit, and then just cruised into Canada and whatnot.
Cool.
Yeah.
Were you?
It's a long flight, man.
Yeah, that is. How long?
It is.
It's like 12 hours, isn't it? Or
12
is it
hours,
longer?
Yeah.
Damn.
But I'm so used to, because my wife's family's was in Canada as well. So we'd always, probably like once a year fly there, or I'll go to Tampa or whatever. And I'm used to it by now. Like, as crazy as it is to say.
The longest flight I've been on is like 2.5 hours, and I was in like fifth grade or something, maybe sixth grade, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I stay on the ground, man.
Yeah.
Right.
I haven't been back up since, but we'll get there because I got places I want to go. So were you born in Hawaii originally then?
Yeah, born and raised in Lahaina, west side of Maui.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how's growing up in Hawaii? I mean, is that like what we would think of, like you're growing up in like paradise, basically, eh?
Yeah. I mean, no, it's amazing, man. I mean, the culture is it's just such a laid back place. You're essentially on Hawaii time, which is kind of like it's like life moves so slow over here compared to the mainland. Even like culturally, like Hawaii's almost like 5 years behind the mainland and stuff. But no, it was great. Yeah, it was awesome, man. Just a lot of beach, a lot of surfing, all that. But no, I was born and raised here until I was about 8. When I was 8, my parents got a divorce, so I went with mom over to Florida. So that's where I got, spent most of my adult life there. Always come back though and see family throughout Hawaii. So
You're in the sun either way, man.
Exactly. Yeah. It's quite the theme with me. I guess tropical climates is typically where I end up.
Have you ever been to a Michigan winter by chance?
I have as a kid for sure.
Awesome.
I love snow. I love the cold. Not living in it so much, but as a little temperamental visitor, snow's cool. So yeah.
Don't get me wrong, man. I could do it for a week or two. Be like, yeah, all right. But then the novelty completely wears off. And it seems like every year that goes by, that novelty just gets like, 2 days,
right.
Day and a half. Pretty soon I'm like,
Right.
fucking winter.
That's probably, I think it makes people a certain way, right? Kind of harder in a sense.
Yeah. Definitely it hurts more, I'll tell you that. As you, like, with your fucking joints and shit.
Yep. Yeah, I can see that for sure.
It definitely gives you an edge, though. Like, because if you can survive in the cold like that, like, you can survive anywhere. But I don't know if that's true because, like, I don't know if I could survive in, like, a dead of summer Arizona or something. Like, that. It's hot. So, but it gets hot here, so I don't know.
I don't know either.
Never know unless I'm there.
I think we can adapt to any sort of weather, dude.
Yeah, if you have enough time, yeah, for sure. But the novelty of winter, like, it's cool and all, but then when it gets all sludgy and nasty outside after about a few weeks, you're like, all right, bring on spring.
I don't see Maui getting, like, I don't see that wearing off ever.
No, it doesn't, for sure. And, like, it does snow here, actually, sometimes.
Oh, gnarly.
We have Haleakala, which is, I think, the highest point. Maybe one of the highest mountain ranges within Hawaii. But yeah, maybe like a couple days a year because, it's past the clouds.
See, it's perfect. A couple days a year.
Exactly.
Need to get a job out there, dude.
Right? I mean, that's all of this and more is waiting for you.
You need to
I
work
mean,
on a tan first before you
Oh,
get your
dude,
ass down to
I look
Hawaii.
like a piece of bacon, dude.
oh,
Crispy.
you'll naturally get a little bronzed as you're out here,
A
or
little
if you're
fucking red.
So
or
as
red.
far as like a music scene in Hawaii, is there much of a hardcore or even like a metal scene down there? I don't know of a
Yep.
whole lot of bands out of Hawaii.
Yeah, that's the thing with Hawaii. You never really hear of anybody, but no, there's been a hardcore scene here for decades.
Okay.
Mostly on, so I mean, there's 8 islands. So Oahu or Honolulu, you may have heard it called by. That's where kind of the primary hardcore scene is. It's not a big scene, it's small, but that's that island's what we call like Metro Hawaii. That's like our big city island. So when we don't want to go to Vegas, we just go to Oahu and have some fun there and stuff. But yeah, so there's been a scene there for decades, small but growing. There's promoters out there and stuff. Like there's actually, I don't know if they brought them out, but years back when I came back in 2014. Terror played, Lionheart played, Thick as Blood played, Rotting Out has came a couple times.
It's a sick
Zavala,
fucking lineup.
yeah, just randomly on Oahu and stuff. But there hasn't been any of those bigger names kind of coming over for a minute. But where I'm at on Maui, there is a metal scene. It's kind of like a thrash metal, blackened metal, whatever you want to call it. This band Pilau, really good thrash band from here. They, I think the guys also throw the fest. It's called Volcanic Strikes Fest. This year would be the second one. It's like a
I've seen
3-day.
that.
Yeah, if you look up Volcanic Strikes, like they got exhumed this year, which is
Damn,
pretty
that's sick.
pretty dope for Maui. But yeah, out here it's just punk and metal. Not really. I can't really say there's a hardcore band from here, other than this project with roots tied to it.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to do a little digging to find one, but I mean,
You're it, dude.
there's
I guess
bands
so.
from the area and stuff, but yeah, it was definitely slim pickings.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like with Hawaii, just in general, not just with like hardcore heavy music. The artists here, nobody really thinks outside of Hawaii. So that's that makes sense why you haven't heard of a Hawaii hardcore band coming from here. Which is weird. Like you can pretty much think of a band for every state. But,
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I
But yeah,
mean,
I feel like people forget about Hawaii when it comes to like metal and hard, but Alaska too. Like I don't know any other,
Yeah, hey,
um, and Kansas.
how would you hear about a band though, even from Hawaii 25 years ago?
Right.
yeah, no,
A touring would be, it'd be so like inexpensive, dude. I mean, I can't, just to fly over to a mainland.
Yeah, because there's no way unless you're gonna like board a freighter ship or something and take like a
Yeah.
3-day cruise out there. Like it would cost cash for the flight, the gear, like everything. So that's probably, I would imagine, why there's not a ton of touring there.
that's true. Yeah, the logistics alone are pretty hard.
Yeah. But I
I don't
mean,
know.
I think it opens up though, like I said, with the whole internet and social media, Spotify. I mean, everything can get heard. It's fucking awesome,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the availability of music these days is wild. I can't. We used to look up liner notes, to check out bands or see what shirts and whatever they're wearing. Now it's like shit. You can just pull up, oh, cool, related artists. Like what the hell?
Oh yeah, we end up down some deep fucking holes, man.
Right. For
Sometimes
sure.
you see related artists where you're like, this doesn't belong
No,
in
I know
there.
that shit's funny. Or you get like new song from Terror, and it's like, I don't even know what it's pop girl K-pop shit. I don't know. It's weird. They got like the same name.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I mean, I did some research on that too, because when I was setting up the Spotify, I'm like, oh shit, how do you get, like related artists? Can you make your own? But no, it's all generated by the algorithm, by whoever's listening to your shit. The most like, artists that those people listen to is what shows up in the bottom there.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
trying to like sneak your shit into everybody's fucking playlist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could make your own, that would be really helpful,
Fucking A.
actually, because a lot of people would be like, oh, we sound like this, 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 and this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
The relatability.
So for music in Hawaii in general, outside of metal, rock, hip hop, anything like that, what was like just the music like culturally there?
Hawaiian music, just yeah, straight up, just old school Hawaiian jams. That's like my, soul music. Like is like Israel, the big guy over the rainbow. That song and stuff. He was huge in my younger years and whatnot. But yeah, just a bunch of just Hawaiian, local music and yeah, a lot of reggae.
I had to ask because I didn't know if maybe the Hawaiian music was pushed as more of an Americanized version of things, and that's not how you did it there, or it was just labeled as Hawaiian music.
Right. Well, I mean, it's pretty par the course. Yeah, the stuff you'd hear in those ads and whatnot is like, yeah, old artists. My, dad used to jam and shit. So
when did you start digging into music yourself?
Yeah, so in Florida, that's where I got my musical chops. I was born in '84, so basically raised in the '90s. I love, grunge was my first intro to heavier type of stuff. Besides all the classic rock that that I was surrounded with in my home. And from there, got into Metallica, slightly heavier stuff, Metallica, Pantera, Megadeth, that type, and then went into nu metal. So nu metal was, my kind of gateway drug into the heavier, into what I would, listen to current day. But I never felt a connection with the music. I always wanted something more, like a sense of community with it. And you don't find that in there. It's just self-deprecating, what was me type shit. So when I heard, just the early, like Poison the Well, heard a band like that, and then heard Hatebreed, I was like, what the fuck? This is it, And then
Hatebreed has that effect on people.
It does, for sure.
It had that effect on me too, man. It's like, what the fuck is this, and why haven't I heard you before?
Yeah, that was pretty much my gateway to anything hardcore, I would have to say, at least that I can remember.
Yeah. But yeah. And then, it's been ruining my life, I guess, ever since.
Yeah.
And when did you start, like, sort of messing around in your own bands and stuff?
Yeah, that came, like, high school. Started off with it's kind of funny, like, started off with a nu metal band. And then when I started to get into like metalcore and hardcore and stuff, I started to switch the band sound into that. And then, only took it, and like I had this is like a full nu metal band. Like I would, I'd be singing, but I'd also be DJing. So then, once the nu metal stuff ended, we left the turntable, and then it went a little more metalcore. And then that's kind of where I left with those guys, because they were more so into nu metal and all this stuff.
Right.
Showed them, and then then just started playing. Beyond that, it was a metalcore band and a hardcore band, then a 5-singer band called Palestine, basically like the Death Star Wu-Tang of hardcore, but all about Florida shit, like lyrically and whatnot. So it was just a fun band with 5 of my best friends and shit.
Yeah, I haven't heard Death Star mentioned in a while. They had like 3 singers, didn't they?
Yeah, something like that.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, it was hard. Or Shockwave, I guess.
Yeah, Shockwave's the shit, dude. It's like one of my favorite. I have a lot of one of my favorite bands. Never mind. They're like they're there somewhere.
Yeah.
But I can it's funny that you were from Florida, because when the second song on your EP is very Florida sounding to me.
Yep. That's I mean,
you can talk more about it when we get, you talk about it, but it's funny that, that's crazy. So I was just talking about that.
Yeah, we talked about how it was a very Trustkill record sound.
Yeah.
Like the
and you
EP
said Poison the Well. And,
yeah. So it fits.
So we're on the same page, man.
Yeah, I'll take that for sure.
So the band name, what is that? What does it mean? I did a little bit of Googling, but I want your interpretation of it.
Yep. Ikaika that stands for essentially strength in Hawaiian. Okay. With the band, I just wanted a bold name. and you know, the co-founding guitar player, you know, that I started it with, it's just like if you saw him, you'd be like, and like me telling him what it means, you know, strength. He's just a big, you know, was a big fucking gorilla and shit. So, you know, a lot of testosterone leaning in the name, I guess you could say. But, you know, it's important to have, you know, a lot of this, you see a lot of Hawaii themes and, you know, titles and whatnot and messages in the song. And, you know, it's kind of like with the name, I wanted it had to be a Hawaiian name, you know, just to kind of like throw the what the fuck factor out there, you know, like, what does that mean?
Oh, dude,
You
if
know?
I was from Hawaii, I'd totally use a fucking Hawaiian name.
Oh, for sure.
You'd be a lost opportunity.
Yeah, straight up.
So I noticed when I Googled it, like that face or mask comes up quite a bit. Is the mask is that somehow significant to Ikaika as well?
Yes. Yeah. So that's, it's, I mean, it's also on the cover too. You know, you saw the figure in the middle. Yeah. So the Ikaika warrior, it's like the old ancient warriors, you know, in battle.
Yeah,
they would wear the gourd. And yeah, as a kid, you know, growing up, you know, it has a lot of you know, just references to my childhood, because I'd always see those t-shirts, like there'd often be that figure on a t-shirt with like multicultural slogans throughout Hawaii, because this is like a melting pot, you know, of Asian, Pacific, you know, cultures. So you'd always see like the Ikaika warrior, you know, in a pose or whatever with, you know, a Filipino reference or a Tongan reference. And, you know, I had like a million of those shirts. And, you know, if you're driving around in Hawaii, you'll see the mask hanging from people's car, you know, rear view mirrors. And a lot of people believe it kind of wards off negative energy or spirit or whatever it may be. You know, because Hawaii is it's a pretty spiritual, kind of magical place. No, it's pretty weird here, but yeah, that's why it's kind of like an ode to my childhood, but you know, the cover in particular. But it's also symbolic of just, you know, rising out of destruction and you know, moving forward.
Up.
Yeah, and that definitely plays a significance in your case.
As far as Hawaii being a magical place, I always heard like, you know, you don't like take rocks from the volcano and shit. You like people would take them home and then like their shit would burn down, or like is that what you're talking about? Like that kind of like magic?
Yeah.
Because
that's one like easy reference. Yeah, people freaking like in on the Big Island, you know, it's mostly lava fields on that island.
Right.
The amount of rocks that get returned to their, you know, little state outpost is insane. Like, you know, with letters, you know, people like my stepbrother one year, my dad's on Kauai. I was over there visiting. He took a rock from just the beach across the street, just a lava rock, black rock, brought it home, started to get super, super sick. You know, nobody knew what was going on. Mom, dad had no idea. Randomly, my dad was telling me he gets a note in their mailbox that says, "Please return the rock." They took it back, and then he was fine.
There was a note?
What the
There was a note, yeah.
Dude, that's like some fucking Hawaiian Illuminati shit or something, dude.
Weird, man. It's wild. There's crazy shit that happens on it.
I never heard any of that. Like people.
Oh yeah, dude.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, man.
That's wild.
I don't know. I'm telling you this much. I would never fucking do that shit.
Right. No.
I mean, there's a kind of like, I guess I'm superstitious a little bit. That's definitely a fucking no-no. Like, I've heard of people even around here, like, taking things. Somebody we know, Ryan, took a spoon out of a house in Sneak, got in a motorcycle accident, broke their leg. Like, all this fucked up shit happened. They put the spoon back, all good.
No shit.
That's so weird.
Yep.
I mean, you guys got a lot of Native American
dude.
history there too.
Yep.
So it's the same, you know, like just imagine how many fucking buildings are over, you know, Native American burial grounds and shit.
Yeah. Supposedly this whole area is ceremonial and burial.
Okay.
And like I said, we got the Thunder Bay, right? There's another bay called Misery Bay. Yeah. And then, like I said, all the shipwrecks, like, I don't know, man. There's like some, I totally know where you're coming from.
There's got to be some sort of energy there. I'm sure there's like ghost ship sightings or some shit people see.
Presqu'île Lighthouse, that's haunted, and that's nationwide known.
Right.
See, I've
Crazy.
been in there and I've never like felt that it's just an old ass lighthouse. Like
I visited it too and never, but Hawaii. I don't
Yeah,
know
I mean,
about
I wouldn't-
taking rocks and like.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
just because they're that it's sacred to there. So when you reached out to me, you said that you started this band as sort of like a necessity for after the fires and everything happened down there. So go ahead and tell us like what went on with that story and like how that was and everything.
Yeah, to leave off with where we were at before, so bands, once, I played in bands for almost a decade, like eight years or so, and then graduated college, and then, because like the band life, that's all I wanted to do, just be in a touring hardcore band.
For sure.
When I graduated college, then it was, oh shit, now I gotta make money. So, and then, just trying to deal with 5 people for so long like that, it just, eventually fizzles out. Someone, wants to do it more. Someone's not, half, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So that life was done. And then, so I, just got into the workforce and then started Still Proud. That was kind of my microphone. That was my creative outlet. I was like, how can I do something with all this shit I'm used to just, screaming out into a microphone? How do I get that? How do I get all that out? And then, it doesn't get any bolder than a t-shirt. So that's how that, man.
When did you start that?
That was 2009. So it's like 15.
Right on.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, because I checked that out and I'd noticed that it had to have been a thing for a minute because it seems to be doing pretty well.
Yeah. It's been going good. I got to get back into it after all this. I took a little break from the band stuff, but now I'm kind of getting back into things for that. But no, I mean, are you guys musicians? Have you guys ever played in bands?
Yeah, I have, but I wouldn't call myself a musician.
Yeah, more of
Well,
like,
yeah, I'm not
I
a
like to
musician.
say
I'm just
professional appreciator.
I'm a chugger.
Yeah, I gotcha. But yeah, I mean, once you're like, if you play in bands for so long and then it just ends, you miss that shit so much. So, I missed it, 100%. But, logistically, I mean, there's maybe a handful of hardcore kids out here, most of which don't even play instruments. So how would I even start something? But, with the digital world, it's a lot easier now. But so I have been talking to one of my best friends in Florida, Josh, for a minute about starting a project. But, to me, it was like, man, I'm busy as shit now. Like, if I'm going to devote time to this, like, it's got to be for a reason, man. There's got to be a burning reason behind it, a message and a purpose for it. And then, unbeknownst to me, that would come, like a month later of us talking about that, with the fires. Having gone through the fires, that was just one of the lowest points of my life. You just never think that your fucking town is just going to be demolished and completely unrecognizable.
Yeah,
so then,
it's not like it was just a little bit, like it was the entire thing.
Level, dude. I still honestly, I can't even, like, looking at pictures, I can't even imagine, dude.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I mean, the next morning, like, I'm sitting in line at one of the supermarkets here, waiting in line for 4 hours, and I run into my buddy, and we had no power that day beyond, like, in my area for like maybe almost a week, but the rest of the west side, was without power for a while. So I'm standing in line, and my buddy Sky, who I'd worked with for many years, he went into town. Like, he trekked in the next morning bright and early. Fucking, he's showing me videos. He's like, yeah, there was a body there. Cops told me, hey, you see a body, just when you see me again, just let me know where it's at so I can mark it. Yeah, just wild. So, like that, like, kind of just mental trauma. And then, not knowing exactly what's going on in there because we have no fucking cell phone service, was a pretty crazy experience. And, about a month or two after I hit my boy Josh up, I'm like, dude, now I got something to say. Let's do this. So that's how the project began. So it was cool. It's like, fuck, man, damn, I get to do this again. It's kind of like a kid in the candy shop type shit. But then, so we started writing, just me and him. He'd send me riffs, and he had programmed drums and stuff because he's was in so many bands and would just record some of their rough little scratch tracks and whatnot. But so we played ping pong back and forth for about 2 weeks, and then he passed away, just unexpectedly. And that was another just fucking back-to-back blow, losing a best friend. So then I thought it was done. But when I went back, well, actually, yeah, when I went back to Tampa for his celebration of life, a couple weeks later, our mutual friends decided, hey, we're going to help you finish it, finish the demo in his honor, and let's see what we can come up with. And it's kind of crazy that the day before he passed away, he was texting me. He had tweaked the riff, or he had sent the riff to this guy Marco, who would record all of his bands and whatnot. And Marco tweaked the riff, sent it back to him, and he sent it to me, and I was like, oh shit, no, this shit's souped up. And it's crazy that Marco would be that guitar player, to take over from him. So it's very much been a family affair. Kevin, my boy Kevin, his best friend, right-hand man, is on bass, and then we kind of pieced the rest of the band together for this upcoming show and whatnot. But it's been a crazy experience, because it's bittersweet. It's like, fuck, cool, I get to do this shit again. Like, I miss this shit so much. Well, fuck, I should be doing this with my best friend. But with that loss, like I said, the reason why we did this project is to basically just finish up the demo and make something that first, of course, we're stoked and we love musically, but also something that he would be proud of as well.
Yeah, so no doubt, man.
Yeah, so that's what kind of dragged me out of retirement, I guess you could say. And yeah, it's been crazy. It's been wild, because when I left, we didn't have Spotify, we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have fucking tutorials on how to blow your band up and all this dumb shit.
Right.
So it's like stepping into a different landscape, and it's kind of cool, just seeing what the modern kids are doing these days, how they're
makes it all fresh, man.
Yeah, versus me bringing my camcorder to practice back in the day just to record the songs so I can write lyrics to them. And I was like, fuck, well, I got full HD video on my phone, and photos and shit. It's just wild to do this shit all again. But yeah, there's I started just out of mental necessity. That was my reason, and I had to get all this shit out, And yeah, thankfully this was the outlet, and yeah, it's been an interesting ride so far.
Lyrically, it's a very I would say strong, it's, you can feel your emotion in it. You're actually singing about things, about shit that obviously, the high, the fires, staying strong. I mean, I think that's admirable. You're not just trying to do some cheese dick fucking breakdown moshes and talking about having a big dick or whatever,
Yeah. I mean, it's not having done it way back then, and having little life experience, you're singing about general things. It's like, oh, like humanity or whatever it may be, the ills or the positives, whatever. But, I'm 40 now. I left that life. I was probably, mid-20s. So, yeah, and then having, just all that life experience, becoming a dad, becoming a husband, all that. And then, you add in all those events, the fires, and then, multiple people passing away since then, close people in my life. It just, this project was more, I've never been as vulnerable lyrically, or fucking cried, as much as I have in I've never cried, writing lyrics in any project. But this had so much intent, so much emotion and heart behind it that, this is the most honest I've been on any of the any demos or EPs I put out with the past bands and whatnot. So it's like a passion project. It almost feels like it almost feels like a gift. Like that motherfucker knew before he died we were gonna start a band and then take it, run with it. Like it's weird, but yeah, it's just been wild, man. This whole experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've had a lot of sacrifice and loss and everything go into your release for the project, so it makes sense that it would be one of the most emotional things that you've written.
Yeah, and I mean, they, like creatively, they let me kind of hit the ground running with just the overall kind of message and image of everything, and that's why it's kind of rooted in my culture. Like if we keep once we keep putting out new music and whatnot, you'll see more of a Hawaii theme in there, because also lyrically, this is my way, since Hawaii is not known or Hawaiian culture in the greater heavy music scene or whatever it may be. This is kind of my way to, in today's world, we got like Zulu for African Americans. You got so many Latino bands, in Cali, pushing their culture and whatnot, but nobody knows the story about Hawaii. So that's also, one of the things behind this band is I get to express my culture in a scene that otherwise does not know about it. So it's kind of cool,
That's what definitely caught my interest about this interview. When Ryan told me that we were going to interview you, I was like, I know absolutely nothing about Hawaii. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of shitty to say, but I'm glad that we're getting educated now.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a booming. I mean, there at one point there was like 1 million people in Hawaii, in the way early days. With a full language, just governmental pillars, all the essential, necessities of a society, unbeknownst to most. And then it got, westernized, basically it's the same story as the Native Americans getting displaced from their home and, basically, kind of turned into slaves, to a sense, to their own land. It's essentially the same story of Hawaii. I mean, that's, how Hawaii got annexed to be the 50th state is a prime example. Basically just a bunch of U.S. businessmen showed up with 100 soldiers, a couple cannons to the Queen's castle or Queen's mansion, and she just had to, submit. And essentially that's how the U.S., would overtake Hawaii. And then, hey, cool, we're going to throw a military base on Oahu. You don't mind that, right? Oh, cool. All right, we're gonna take one of your other islands, Kaho'olawe. We're going to bomb the shit out of it. We're going to, test, our missiles for, warfare on your island and stuff. So yeah, there's a crazy context historically of, Western influence coming in here. And that's oftentimes why a lot of people here are like, oh, the locals are so angry, don't, just be afraid of them. I'm like, no, you got it wrong. It's like, if I come to your home state or your city and I'm an asshole, I feel entitled to it, you're gonna feel a certain way about it,
Yeah.
And then
anybody would.
Yeah, and it's like, just think generationally of how Hawaiians grew up, in their household with the sentiment. You'll hear haole, which basically just means tourist at its face value, but it has basically a term, a term like a diss term towards basically white people, white travelers to Hawaii. But I'm like, hey.
What was the term? You said
haole.
Haole?
Oh, haole, yeah, haole.
So it's like the Hawaiian version of cracker.
Peck of wood.
Yep, pretty much. But it's like, no, I mean, just so the reason why that sentiment is there of, oh, it's just the angry locals. It's like, well, historically, see how Hawaii, became Hawaii, in terms of the U.S. This is stolen land, and then you got people coming here thinking it's Disney, it's just a fucking theme park, and just everything beautiful here can and will kill you from the fucking current, just stepping, 5 feet into the water. The short break kills people so much throughout here, all the hiking and whatnot. People just slipping and whatnot. It's like it's a beautiful place. You got to just come here with respect and reverence for it. Like if you walked up to the most gangster ass looking Hawaiian dude, face tats, everything, big motherfucker. If you ask him, hey, tell me about your culture, they will fucking melt, and you will become best friends. Because everybody just, like I said, people come here with entitlement, and
they dismiss
a lack of
what's there naturally.
Yeah, a lack of regard for such a beautiful culture that most people don't know about. But it's like, yeah, of course, someone comes in there and they're fucking littering and they're just acting a fool in your place, feeling like they own it. Yeah, of course, you're gonna fucking get pissed off about that and have feelings about it a certain way. But just that's Hawaii in a nutshell, man.
It was basically taken over to be used for corporations and military training and stuff, because how far it is from the United States. Like, we were talking about this yesterday. Like, it shouldn't even be a country or a state of the United States. Like, it's its own island. Like, it's way out.
Exactly, yeah. I guess strategically, the halfway point, during like World War II, when Japanese, they were coming with Pearl Harbor, all that stuff. I guess maybe that was in preparation of throwing a base over there or whatnot. Still pretty crazy.
Oh, that was totally their excuse for the base and Midway's base. But that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, sure.
So
you said I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
Oh, I was just gonna ask how things are there now. Like, it's been like a little over a year. We were watching some YouTube videos of like drone footage of the island currently, and it looks like a lot of it's still like
it looks fucked up,
burnt down.
Yeah, it's still and also to finish up with that, like when you said or I talked about the corporations and stuff, how they overthrew, essentially took Hawaii into U.S. statehood. Sugarcane was a big industry here on the west side of Maui in Lahaina, right above Lahaina. Like growing up as a kid, I was right across the street from it. Just booming sugarcane and pineapple industries. But once that ended, that's just barren fucking cannon fodder, land just waiting to be incinerated. Because it's not managed by those corporations anymore, and I guess the state maybe owns it or.
But
something.
You can't like grow on it or anything. It's just like
No,
shit, fucking dirt.
I mean, I'm sure they could till it and do it all again, but for decades that land has just sat there barren with weeds and 5 or 6 years ago, we had our first warning of it. We had a hurricane roll through. Big fire happened up there. It took a couple homes, one of which was one of my old coworkers. And then there's so many things that they should have known, like the state or the county and the power, corporations that essentially manage all those poles that are on the outside of that land and whatnot. But there was just no action until the fires happened. As it stands now, actually residential, I think I just read yesterday, it's 100% cleared. So all the homes, of residents that were destroyed are pretty much, cleared out. So, but commercially, I think there's still a lot of work to be done on Front Street and whatnot. But as far as I know, like by the little land acreage, like block by block, they've kind of piled all the wreckage in one kind of corner of each lot and whatnot. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's gonna be completely different. That's kind of like one of the worries of locals is that shit. Like, if you've ever been to Oahu, like Waikiki is like, like I said, Oahu's like Metro Hawaii, but it's super, super, super touristy.
Yeah.
So it's just, like 15 floors, just no view, just blocking everything. And on Front Street in Lahaina, which is, where the majority of, restaurants and stuff were, it's just
prime property, man.
Yeah, prime property, but it wasn't all built up to code. You know, like you're not supposed to have a restaurant on the waterfront. So now, once they finally get that all cleared out, and like zoning wise, it's going to be completely different, which is cool. And but you know, to a certain extent, it's kind of scary. It's like
Yeah, it
fuck.
freaked me out, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Now big money can come in and you know kind of overtake that stuff.
Throw a
But
big ass hotel where there
Yeah,
used
but
to be a fucking mom and pop.
yeah,
exactly,
but they didn't
exactly.
come in when they should have, when it
Right.
mattered most. Like they come
Right.
in when it's convenient.
Of course.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can pick it up cheap.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
True. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's crazy that it's and there's still so much like unbuilt and so much renovation to do, and it just seems like there wasn't. I don't know, man. You guys kind of got slighted there. Like it didn't.
There's no fucking news about it on, you know, at
Yeah.
least that we see over here.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, for fucking 9 months, dude, you know? And then,
Yeah.
I don't know, feel like an asshole just because I didn't, until we were aware of this interview, it was like, let's check that out. And then it's like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like the darling of the U.S., like one of the most popular tourist destinations in Hawaii, just gets wiped off the map, and then it's like, oh yeah, there's a couple stories, a couple days after,
Yeah.
in the scheme of news, but that's just how news works, Here
Right.
today, gone tomorrow, on to the next fucking crazy ass thing. But yeah, that's kind of, it's also doing this project has been my way to kind of keep that a little fresh, It's not like I'm fucking Creed here or whatever, but
No, man, I think it's good that it brings attention to it. Just
Right.
like I said, I had fucking no idea that. I mean, I guess I just assume, oh, this shit's being rebuilt and blah blah.
Yeah, yeah.
But you don't really. I don't know, man.
Plus, you never know. Like there could be the younger generation of people looking into this band being like, oh, like they had something to say for our people, like we're gonna step up and do that too. So you could have been the torchbearer for your own scene and not even know it until in the future.
Yeah, the amount of people I've like, Maui's not synonymous for heavy music. So like, a lot of my friends, they don't even listen to, this type of shit. But, you put that message behind it, that message transcends genres.
Right.
You can relate to it, especially here, there's such a pride with being from Hawaii in general, let alone Maui or Lahaina. And that's just a general breakthrough, concept for people to, grasp and relate to.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward as soon as you fucking put on the
Right.
demo or EP, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's the first song.
Yeah,
Well, it's song 2 after the intro, but it's the first song.
Yeah. Yeah. And then even the intro, I mean, that, when I mentioned Hawaiian music, like Rada is a big Hawaiian guy, the Over the Rainbow song. That the intro itself is a song that he, I guess, covered called Hawaii 78, which goes over like the struggles of like, the historical context of just the pain of the culture, living, in a modern world or whatever. So that's why I wanted that to be kind of remixed as the intro to kind of set the pace, And I mean, it's kind of cool. Like you wouldn't think to hear a slight, Hawaiian music in an intro. So immediately.
Oh no, it's ear catching for sure.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, it definitely helps you stand out too, because when you look at the album cover itself, you could almost think it'd be like Gojira, like Sepultura or Brugira, like those style bands that usually use that style of artwork. Like you don't know that you're walking into a hardcore band or a sort of a metalcore-ish band, like it's catches your eye, but it's also surprising too. Like,
yeah, and that's it did what it was intended to do. Kind of evoke curiosity. Yeah, it's a very strong cover. When I saw it first, it's crazy. Like, so my boy Leif, who for all my old projects, he just did all the artwork for all the demos and EPs and whatnot. And I randomly started talking to him like, I don't know, a year or two ago. And he, I was like, dude, fuck, like this is such a nostalgic project for me. Let me hit Leif up, and then like, yeah, I'll fucking do it, man. Like just for old time's sake. So it's kind of crazy how all that came together. And it's like, I mean, this band itself it's like a family affair. Like, like I said, we pieced together the other members, or Marco, the guitar player, did, along with Kevin. One of the second guitar player is a guitar player that would fill in for, have you guys heard of Exit Strategy?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the guitar player from Exit Strategy, who Josh, my former guitar player, they used to play together. He's our second guitar player. Our drummer is actually his brother that lives in, I believe, Chicago or Milwaukee.
That's crazy.
So he's gonna be flying in, like, to play our first show, which we'll get to as well. But yeah, it's just a big family affair, from the demo artwork to all the members and the connection of each. It's crazy.
Are you going to be putting out any hard copies or just digital for now?
I got to figure that out. Yeah, digital for now. There was some interest from a label, which I'm trying to get back in touch with in Europe, to do like a hard copy and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. It's in the works. I just got to figure it out logistically.
Man, in Europe. That's cool.
Yeah.
So the upcoming show, when is that taking place?
Yep. So this is a fest that my bass player Kevin, along with some friends, singer of Exit Strategy Josh, and other friends, they put together this fest. It's called Hammer and Nail Fest for my guitar player, because he would always say, in life, you're either the hammer or the nail. You got to learn to be both. So they're throwing this fest for basically his family. Any profits are just going to go directly to, he had 2 kids, wife. And that's going to be held on November 8th and 9th this year in Tampa. And, actually, Ybor City, at this legendary place called Crowbar. 2-day fest. This fest is going to be insane. Like the first headlining night is Haywire, and then Florida favorite 3D Deep. The second on Saturday, so that's Friday night. Saturday is when we play Madball. Madball's on the
fucking sick. You said that's in Tampa, right?
That's in Tampa, yep.
Shit.
Madball,
shout out to Nate Stigney. You better fucking go, because we're not.
Yeah, so we got Madball, Death Before Dishonor, Vietnam, and a bunch of local bands. Yeah, dude, it's wild. Like, holy shit, I get to play a fest with, some of the most influential bands, Madball, Death Before Dishonor, that influenced me all this time. Shit, get to open up to them.
No, I'm just saying, like, this was my backup t-shirt for today.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Death Before Dishonor.
Yeah.
Because you never know around here, man, the weather, like we were saying.
Right. Oh, there you go. That's your backup plan.
So are you gonna do anything, try to get like touring like a regular thing, or is that kind of just too hard to pull off at the moment?
You got to come a long ways to go anywhere outside of Hawaii. So
yeah, logistically for this project, I don't think we'll ever tour. We kind of want to do one-off shows, pop up here and there, type of deal. Yeah, just because, I mean, everybody's kind of scattered around and whatnot. So yeah, this won't be a band you see often. So whenever we're playing, come out. It's, who knows where it'll go or how long it'll be around. We'll try to keep it going as long as possible. I'd like to, keep writing and whatnot, but we'll regroup after this show, and this show's gonna be wild, because I haven't played a show in 15 years, so I miss that shit so much. But it's also kind of cool, like all the kids that used to come out to my shows back in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, or Southwest Florida, they're all coming up. All my old bandmates, they're coming in. My boy Tom in Georgia, my boy Dick, who used to play drums for me, he's coming from Tennessee.
It's like double hometown fucking show, dude.
it's a big family reunion.
Yeah, that's
So
sick.
it's going to be awesome. And yeah, that's one of the last shows that's going to be thrown at that place, Crowbar, which has been around for decades. In one of the funnest towns, Ybor City, crazy ass town.
That's
So, yeah.
wild for a first show, because mostly, like, that'd be like a show you'd hear a band being like, that was the show that fucking, like, started things off
You're
for
like,
us.
oh yeah, we opened for Madball.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah.
Dude.
So it's wild. It's just crazy to. Everything's crazy to me now. It's like everything aside, all the intent and all the hardship and heartbreak behind, aside from that, like I said, I'm like a kid in the candy store. This is cool. All this shit's, it's just so cool and interesting to be doing it again and relive my former life that I thought was done. And, I get to do it, as a 40-year-old man. It's weird. It's crazy. But
Gotta stay gold,
Yeah.
man.
exactly. I mean, that's one of the things that's kept me younger, staying involved in, shit that I used to just have such a love for, and have been listening to for over 2 decades,
Well, it's kind of like with the music, and you're saying like you got some 15 years since you did a show. I feel like for Ryan and I, at least from my point of view, this is like our band,
Yeah.
in the sense of,
What, the podcast?
yeah,
Yeah, kind of.
it's just we
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have to tour, but you know what I mean? Like it's a way to give back to the music that we love, and
Yeah.
meet cool people like you.
Yeah. And you get to influence people as well, right?
I don't know about that, but
Maybe we might have influenced somebody, but at the very least, we've taught some people a handful of things here and there. I'm sure.
yeah, fuck everybody else. I just want to learn some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an ancillary benefit
Yep.
of what you, right?
So you said that you want to keep writing. Do you have plans to release a full-length follow-up to this E EP?
So I gotta reconvene with the boys, post the, at the show or after the show and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, I'd like to at least put out another, like an EP, like a 5-song EP, and then, see where it goes from there. But yeah, I mean, Marco, everybody's busy in the band too. Kevin our bass player has a really good, kind of like stonerish metal band. Flora said he's kind of full-time into and whatnot. And Marco, our guitar player, who, picked up from Josh and basically wrote the rest of the songs. He records and engineers bands too. He's in a couple bands, I think, too. So, everybody's busy. So
Time
it's
flies, man.
It does. Yeah. So it's kind of, it's a labor of love project. So, no, we're not, putting, it's not like a serious thing where we gotta, just keep cranking out whatnot.
Right.
Not so much pressure, but more just
Yeah, exactly.
like get together, have fun, record some songs. That's the way that like the best shit comes out like that, man.
Exactly. Organic and not pushing it. Just letting it flow. But yeah, I'll probably be the annoying girlfriend to them though at some point soon here.
Fuck it. Gotta
Yes.
do what you gotta do.
Exactly.
You got some Hawaii magic going on behind you. Your door's creeping open.
Oh shit.
You didn't see it.
I thought my wife was coming.
I figured it was a cat or something.
I mean, I got a miniature Pomeranian, so who knows if she Houdini'd that shit open.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for a cat to just like.
Right. Big black ass cat just jumps.
So we didn't get to, before we like get too far to the end here, we didn't really get to talk about your clothing company much. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So like I said, I started Still Proud after band life to just kind of express myself and express my frustrations with the world, as you could say. So yeah, started that, and then back in 2009. And, as you can tell, it's very heavily influenced by a lot of themes within horrorcore and horrorcore music in general. But yeah, and then it's been very influenced by tattoo culture, so traditional tattoos. So you'll see a lot of the artwork, behind the messages and whatnot. But yeah, that's been my little passion project for a long time now, and something I work on the side of having a job and all that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like my little baby.
Do you do the artwork yourself on stuff, or you commission people?
No.
Or?
Yeah. I'll come up with the ideas, concepts. I have artists or illustration artists or tattoo artists that I work with, kind of everywhere from Brazil to Indonesia, all around. But yeah, it's usually they'll illustrate it, and then we'll play ping pong back and forth to get it how I see it.
Right on.
Yeah,
it's a good way to do it, man.
Yeah. Actually, I've had a lot of U.S. based people too. Gizzle, the band The World?
The World?
You haven't heard The World?
I don't think so.
Okay, check out The World. Anyways, he used to play in Hammer Brothers. You guys remember Hammer Bros from Boston?
Yeah.
Okay. He did a lot of the early design work. Or remember the band Armed for Battle? XAFBX.
That I do.
Yeah.
Like a 7-dagger band.
Yep.
Yeah, Tony, who's now a huge tattoo artist.
That's from some fucking download days, man. That XAFBX shit, I'm thinking.
I also haven't heard anybody say Seventh Dagger in a long time.
Yeah, no shit, dude. Seventh Dagger straight edge.
Yep.
They had some dope designs. Sorry, I'll shut the fuck up.
They did. Yeah, they had everything. It was like conceptually, you knew what you were looking at when you saw that label.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the brand. Yeah. So but primarily design wise, it's all overseas people that help me out with that. And then I just operated it just digitally, and then it's my office right here.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah. So I'm about to get back into it from the band stuff and put out like a little 15-year little collection and whatnot. But yeah, about to hit the ground running hard with that because, like I said, I took some time off just to give this band its due diligence and get it out there.
Definitely have to keep our eyes open for that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely watch out to see if you're releasing any physical copies of the EP and stuff moving forward too.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you guys know. Definitely.
Cool. Before we get to our final question here, we always ask this question to people at the end of an episode. Do you have anything that you want to add, get off your chest before I start to get to the end here?
Not really. Thanks anybody who's given the demo an ear and a chance, and I appreciate all the support. Shouts to all my members, Marco, Kevin, everybody, because without them, I wouldn't be able to do this project. We go through all this crazy shit all over again. But no, just thank you to the listeners. Thank you guys for having me and giving me a little platform here to get it out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was great to hear your side of things for sure.
I'm sorry to hear about your fucking hometown and your friend too, man. My thoughts are with you on that shit. That's sad. Yeah,
thanks, man. Yeah, unfortunately, we're not getting any younger. So life seemingly just gets a little crazier and crazier. So
I think that's what makes it important for you to do what you're doing right now or what we're doing right now. Is like you never know, man.
Yep.
Yeah, it's your way of leaving your mark,
right,
so to speak.
Yep.
But we always ask this at the end of each episode. So Jeremy and I, we do this podcast in the back of my record store, and we're big fans of everything across the board. What would be something that you listen to outside of the music that you play that people would not expect?
Or mentioned?
I don't really have any guilty pleasures anymore. Well, okay.
That's why I don't say guilty pleasure, because at some point you're just like, I listen to whatever I want. I'm just curious what out of your hardcore and metal, that side of things, what's something left field?
Electronic music. I like a lot of electronic shit. Yeah, because I got into that at the tail end of Florida, last couple of years. And then when I came out here, obviously there's no hardcore music, so I'm like, fuck. Then started listening to electronic shit. A lot of, dubstep was kind of the gateway drug, which is basically, if you think about it, it's electronic metalcore. Like,
Yeah, I've heard it referred to as such, actually.
It is chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but no, I listened to a lot of house too. A lot of G house, which is like gangster house, like basically West Coast hip hop over a house beat, or
Okay.
bass house, that type of shit. So that's kind of something out of left field that you wouldn't really think I listened to or whatever. But it's kind of funny, like the connotation that most people from heavy music have towards that kind of genre is like, you don't realize these are all fucking former hardcore and or metal
Most
kids.
definitely, dude.
Yeah, like
I think that
Diplo,
attitude
Stevie Aoki,
has changed over the
biggest
last
we
10
did,
years.
for sure.
Yeah, people
but
are definitely a lot more welcoming about different genres of music, because even like at the store, like we'll get people buying like Slayer, Cannibal Corpse, and
Taylor
Dolly
Swift.
Parton and Taylor Swift all on the same stack. Like nobody,
yeah,
the walls are all knocked down because everybody has access to everything, so it's not just kind of pigeonholed into one area anymore.
sure.
Which is cool though, because it opens up more people's like perspective to different styles and sounds of music. Which, if all people would do that, the world would be a better place. I think.
You'll have to compare notes after.
Instead of just listening to
Right.
Motley Crue for the rest of your life.
And it's like, like there's not one. It's hard to find one genre of music that can encapsulate every emotion.
Yeah.
So that's why, like it's you got to be like musically open minded. I mean,
Oh,
it's,
for sure.
music's in the ear of the beholder. When I hear grindcore, I like it. Somebody else hears it like, what the fuck is that bullshit? Like,
Yeah.
but
I mean, it
yeah.
stimulates everybody's brain a different way. So, like, something that resonates with you might not with the next person.
Different strokes for different folks. But,
Yeah. But that's why we have the beautiful thing of the melting pot of fucking different styles of music.
The melting pot of noise avocation.
But all right, man. We appreciate you taking the time to jump on here. It's been cool to hear from you and nice to get to know you. Hopefully, maybe if you're in Michigan sometime again, like
Sure.
get a hold of us and we can link up or something.
Sure, yeah.
Because it's going to be a long while before I get to Hawaii. I can tell you that.
Yeah. And if you guys ever want to come out here, my wife does have. She works for the hotel, so
Okay, cool.
Right on.
on that. But yeah, mahalo for your time, guys. It's great to meet you.
Yeah, you
too.
too, man. We'll be in
As we
touch with
said.
you online, and you enjoy the rest of your day's beginning, our day's ending, or getting to the evening.
As we say in Hawaii, ahui ho, or until we meet again.
Have a good one, man. We appreciate it.
Later, dude.
Later.